Hey there, how y'all doing? This is Mr. and Mrs. Data from
Hello.
Newfound Gap. How you doing? You ready to hike?
Yes.
So that's the Appalachian Trail head behind us, which we've already missed and got off on the wrong foot for about 5 minutes. And I'm going to turn around, or I'll pan around here and show you that's Newfound Gap behind us. That's the Roosevelt Monument. And then that's the view that I have on my other video, so you can see it's pretty socked in. And so I'll give you a view of the trail now and talk for a little minute. So, Mrs. Data, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
So we're leaving out northbound to Charlie's Bunion today. It's about we've got, I don't know, 1,700 feet or so of climbing today. There won't be any views. It's overcast, as you can see, and drizzly, but it's not supposed to rain a lot today. There's our first white blaze of the day. There was a road collapse on Newfound Gap just north of here by the Alum Cave trailhead a couple of days ago. So Newfound Gap Road was shut down for a couple of days, and we had already planned to come here, but they opened it up yesterday on the North Carolina side. So we drove up from Gorgeous Stays this morning to go ahead and do our hike. And between the road closure, which online in some places they still say Newfound Gap Road is closed completely, but it's open from Cherokee up to Newfound Gap, where they make you turn around and go back. So we're going to do our hike up to Charlie's Bunion, even though there won't be views. And this is Mrs. Data's first time on the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, yes, it is.
So obviously we're just in day pack, so it ought to be as easy as a 4-mile each way hike in the hike that the Smokies can be.
I don't know how well you're going to get it on camera.
I'll get it. There's a beetle of some sort. Whew. There we go.
Hey, maybe while we're out here we'll see some snakes. That'd be cool. I don't know if they're going to be out when it's this chilly, though.
Yeah, hopefully we won't get rained on much. We get really lucky. The sun will come out and burn off some of these clouds here in a couple hours as we get up to Charlie's Bunion. It's 4.2 miles each way, 1,700 or so of ascending total. Whole hike should take us between, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. And we're being bold and starting cold, or at least Mrs. Data is. I went ahead and put my raincoat on.
Now that we're moving, I'm not cold.
Yeah, I'm actually heating up. I'm actually have to take the dang raincoat off. But it's about 9 a.m. and we're on trail. And so far, we're the only people out on this trail. Have the Appalachian Trail all to ourselves. So we're just a little ways in, and the trail got a little rock scrambly, and Mrs. Data decided she would take the lead. I also had to delayer. I had put my raincoat on in air. I should have been bold and started cold like she did. Now I'm just going to follow up that path, I guess. We just took our first little hydration break after about 45 minutes, and we're 1.1 mile in, even though it's been a climb. So Mrs. Data is quite the leader of our hiking troop here. We're just motoring right up this thing. What do you think of the trail so far?
It's pretty. Haven't seen any wildlife yet.
Has it been harder or easier than you thought it would be?
It's been about what I thought it would be.
Okay. So it's been a little bit challenging, I thought, but not as much as I thought it would be either, because there are a lot of rock scrambles, but they've done a nice job, trail builders have, of carving out what are like actually little steps. So even though I'm coming up over a rock climb, I can shoot video for a little minute here. Do it with one hand. It has not rained on us, and the sun has peeked out just a little bit. You might be able to tell. But at 1.1 mile in 45 minutes, we're moving at a 1.5 mile an hour pace. So we probably got 2 hours to Charlie's Bunion, something like that. 2.9 miles, I think the software said. And Mrs. Data is right. It's gotten really scenic, especially as we've gotten up in elevation. 45 minutes in, those are all the views that we have so far. And the trail is technical enough or rigorous enough, you can't really look around very much. You do have to watch foot placement. All that. It's pretty well blazed. There are multiple water sources because it's been raining. In fact, in some places, the trail itself is a tiny stream. You can kind of see daylight off in the distance, perhaps. Here's the sign for the Sweet Heifer Creek? Sweet something creek. And the Keppert Prong Trail and the Keppert Shelter, which is not where we're heading. And then here's the sign for the AT. This one says 1.7 miles back to Newfound Gap. And Icewater Spring Shelter is 1.3 miles ahead, and that's our next destination. So we made it to the cutoff for the jump-off trail, which we're not going to hike up today because it's not very long, but I don't think there's going to be a view yet, although hopefully there'll be one by the time we get to Charlie's Bunion. But here's the sign. So the jump-off is 3/10 that way, and Mount LeConte is 5.3, and then we're headed to Icewater Spring Shelter for a little break, and then after that we'll be 1.1 from Charlie's Bunion. So we've come, as of the sign, it says 2.7. My Far Out app says it's 2.9, but the trail has gotten very cruisy in this area, and we've been making good time, and I'm like hiking without poles now and looking at ferns, and we have seen no wildlife except for like the beetle we saw earlier and a worm. Nothing, just this. We are back in that spruce forest, which has that primeval kind of feeling to it. And Mrs. Date has been leading the way the whole time, although she's hiking like an experienced ATer here today, so I think maybe...
I have some experience hiking, just not as much as you.
Yeah, that's true. That's clear today. I'm just powering over those rock scrambles back there. That's pretty impressive. Maybe we need to come up with a trail name for Mrs. Data other than Mrs. Data. Maybe she deserves a trail name of her own.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, somebody should think of it for you. I mean, you can come up with your own if you wanted to, but I'm glad that somebody else came up with mine. So. So this is the ice water shelter in the mist. We got here in a couple hours, and the morning fog and mist has burned off a little bit, as you can see, but not a lot. There's a privy here which we used already, and there's bear cables as you walk in, and there's a water supply. I think there's another set of bear cables down that hill. But Mrs. Data is having a snack, and we're taking a little 15-minute pack-off break. We're about a mile or so from Charlie's Bunion. Okay.
It's a geode.
Goodbye. You found a geode?
I think so.
Let me see.
It's like a geode to me.
Yeah?
But it's so
Wow.
beautiful. It's kind of pinkish, peachish.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that have been busted up down here. No, you leave only footprints and take only memories. That's the whole point of Leave No Trace. Imagine if everybody took a little sample of a rock.
We would have no geodes, that's for sure.
So we're going to come back out the way we came in so that I will have walked every step of the trail. Don't want to miss any blazes. I'm not the most pure of purists, but I'm a little bit of one. Plus I get to show you, here are the bear cables. And there's another set that's down the hill from there also, according to a sign back at the shelter. And we came in by a side trail that leads to the shelter, so that's the way we're going out. Here's the other box of equipment. There's the shelter. It's a pretty big shelter. And we came in this trail here. We did get 1 bar and 4G on Verizon at the shelter, so I was able to check the forecast. And there is somewhere between a 0 and a 10% chance of rain between now and about 3 o'clock, which means we should make it and with any luck, the foggy clouds that have been burning off a little bit at a time all day will keep burning off. We might even get some sort of a view at Charlie's Bunion, which is about a mile away, or we might not. I think you can see off in the distance how there's a little bit more visibility now than there was before. But we have a mile to the Bunion, and it's all downhill. And here's a piped spring. I didn't realize that the water source here had a pipe in it. And here's a big full-on piped spring. This is about 1/10 of a mile north of the shelter. That'd be really easy to draw water out of today. Go over this way. You can kind of see if I down that there's running water all over the trail today. So one of the rangers told me a month or so ago that this has been the wettest spring he has seen on the AT in his 20 or 30 years, whatever it was, of working in the backcountry office and in the park. So and we have arrived at Charlie's Bunion.
Did you say there's a privy here?
No, there's no privy here.
Okay.
There's
So now that we're here, like, where do we go?
see where it says right there? That's where we go. That's the side trail to Charlie's Bunion. Well, now we're coming right up on Charlie's Bunion, and there's a pretty heavy cloud bank, so there's remnants of a little Bit of a green tunnel here through the rhododendron. And I think I've heard that technically Charlie's Bunion is this big rock up over your head. But some people claim it's this one right out there that some people go stand on to take a picture. I'm not going to go stand on it today. So there are some views from Charlie's Bunion of the mountains that are really close to us, but not very much. You can see the fog rolling in. Can't see. And some yellow flowers that are in bloom here I don't remember seeing before. Bees are feasting on them. You can kind of see it's kind of a precipitous drop off there. This is Charlie's Bunion looking south. I'm not going to climb up on top of it because I'm not that brave. And it's not real windy, but I don't think there are many sights today. So the morning's fog and clouds have lifted a little bit now. We've only been at Charlie's Bunion for about 10 minutes. Can't see the distant hills, but we can see down into the valley now. So this is Data and Mrs. Data up at Charlie's Bunion, having hiked in today from Newfound Gap. Took us 3 hours. Mrs. Data led the way.
Most of the way.
And now this puts me at about 450 miles of the Appalachian Trail today. So, yay!
Woo!
Woo!
There you go.
Yeah, we met all kind of people and took their pictures while we were up there. You might see off in the distance that by the time we were done, Charlie's Bunion, it had started to clear up just a little bit, and yet it also looks like it's rolling in this way. So. Hey there, this is Data coming at you from Gorgeous Stays. We're staying in the bus this time, the Schoolie bus, Schoolie Days bus, something like that. It's an old converted school bus. It's a great big flat nose school bus. It would sleep, I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe more if you wanted to. It's a really nice. It's got a king-sized bed in the back, so that's pretty nice. And so today we were here drove down yesterday from Chicago area. We were here last night. We got up today, and because the park has closed part of Newfound Gap Drive just north of Newfound Gap because of a road subsurface collapse on Newfound Drive. They've reopened it from the North Carolina side up to Newfound Gap, and they just did that, I guess, yesterday afternoon or something. We were one of the first people up there today. We had some nice high points. I've never hiked up on the AT and up at altitude with Mrs. Data, and she just took off like a rocket. I followed her actually all the way up the mountain, and she seemed to enjoy herself, although I think we're both pretty wiped out by now. We hiked 4 miles each way. It's actually 4 plus a little, but we'll call it 8 miles round trip. Going in, it's 1,200 feet of ascending and 800 feet of descending. And so round trip, it's 2,000 feet up and 2,000 feet down. We did that between 9 o'clock and about 3:30, so it took us 6.5 hours. But then we went down to the NOC, the restaurant called the River's End or something like that. at the Nantahala Outdoor Center, which is down here by Gorgeous Days, and had a salad and a chicken sandwich and filled ourselves up. And now Miss Data's back up at the lodge here at Gorgeous Days because they have a little bit better Wi-Fi at the lodge than they have up here. Although they have pretty good Wi-Fi everywhere, and she's got some work things to do. So I don't know. So for me, my highlights of my day were that I got to add another 400 miles on another 4 miles onto my total, which I think puts my Appalachian Trail total about 450 miles. I'll finalize that calculation in my summary video. We did not get rained on, so we got to Newfound Gap at 9 o'clock, and the parking lot had 3, maybe 4 cars in it, maybe. Other than that, we saw 10 or 15 people all day. We had Charlie's Bunion pretty much to ourselves, and we had most of the trail to ourselves most of the day. So that was pretty good. On the drive in through Cherokee, and right when we got to the visitor center on the southern edge of the Smoky Mountains National Park, we saw elk, which were out because it was in the morning feeding in the fields around there, and we saw them again on the way out. So we saw elk 3 or 4 times today. Big, beautiful elk. Heard of them in a couple of places. So that was nice. We had even the drive in on the park main road, we had pretty much to ourselves the whole time. So we got to go as fast or as slow as we wanted and kind of take in the scenery and look at the waterfalls along the road and the pretty creek. And it's a spectacular drive. I can't remember having made the drive into Great Smoky Mountains National Park from the southern entrance in Cherokee, but I highly recommend this entrance to the park. In terms of low points, I don't really have any. I'm glad Mrs. Data and I got to hike the section of the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to add this video onto the end of my round 3 of Appalachian Trail sections, just because I went home and I was really only there for a couple of weeks, and Mrs. Data wanted to come back down here. But we're also going to do some sightseeing stuff in Bryson City and maybe Franklin and maybe up at Cherokee, and just to kind of get a feel for this part of America. It's a pretty nice part of the country for folks who haven't been up here before. They call this the quiet side of the Smokies, or the slow side of the Smokies. It's much more relaxed than the Gatlinburg side, which I'm much more familiar with. So we're really enjoying the people we meet and the kind of activities. It's a lot more outdoorsy stuff to do. So there's rafting and zip lining and the hiking, and so we're going to go look at a bunch of that kind of stuff tomorrow. So other than that, I hope y'all had a good day, and this is Data signing off, just saying, happy trails to each and every one of you.